and drag that to the first key. And if we jog between the two, you'll see that they match. The toes don't. So we need to do the same there for the toe that we animated. We also need to create a keyframe for this toe as well. So just going to do a little wobble and pretty much put it back to where it was. And what that does is creates the keyframes, and now I can shift and drag. Now it's very important that we have a keyframe for every third frame for these feet. Okay, now let's go ahead, and I think for this we'll move 3 keyframes at a time and just keep matching the reference. So I'm going to just go to a left view here, and every now and then I'll check the front view. So grab your foot controller, rotate it to the desired angle, which is pretty much straight, and then position it. And that looks pretty good. Grab your toe controller and once again just give it a little wiggle, or you can shift and drag that forward. And that looks okay. We'll do the same with the green guy. We'll rotate him first and then position that up here. And we need to rotate the toe slightly more. In fact, this guy needs to come up a little higher, probably about there. And then we can rotate our toe to about there. Should be fine. So I'm going to move ahead and I'm going to match the position and the rotation of the feet for the whole 24 frames using every third keyframe, and make sure that you refer to the front view just to make sure that things are working the way they should. So there you can see that I have laid in all of the poses and everything's looking good. Sometimes you have to slightly come off the model, but remember that this is a very different character that we're using as reference, which can be the case sometimes. And you have to make a best judgment. The reason why I've come off the model a little bit there is I need that foot to clear the ground as it's coming through, and that way it does actually clear the ground. The other thing to remember, if you do press play here, well, there's 2 things actually. First of all, you're not watching that in real time, so it may be a very different time or speed. But the most important thing is that the viewport in the background, our reference, takes a little bit of time, a fraction of a second, to catch up to the play in the character. So when you press play, it does often look like it's a long way off the reference. It doesn't quite match the reference, and most of the time, as soon as you hit pause, everything looks the way it should. It's because there's a little bit of lag there, so be careful of that. I'm just going to go to a front view now and just do a quick check.